Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
The following is a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of the show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of this station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information hereafter is for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you smaller.
Your Health Matters with Karl Sterling on News Radio 570 WSYR on 106.9 FM and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
I take a couple lovers, I down a couple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple pills.
Bringing you the latest in health and wellness so you can get to the other things that matter. Here is your host, Karl Sterling.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Your Health Matters. My name is Karl Sterling, and with me I have my amazing and wonderful co-host, Elizabeth Brusa. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Better than I was last night. You know?
Yeah.
We have a lot of things to talk about today, folks. It's going to be a different show, so put on your seatbelts and don't go away, because I've had some things building up in me over time for many years that are festering, and they've hit a point where I need to start talking about them. You know why? Because I can. And I don't think I'll hurt anyone's feelings today. My goal is to do exactly the opposite. It's an interesting time we're living in. It's heartbreaking in many ways. Before I go further with what I'm going to divulge here, my thoughts and feelings, I'm the consummate optimist. I would say, okay, and I didn't pay Elizabeth to say this to agree with me, did I? That when you come in to our clinic, you're going to get welcomed with open arms. You'll be treated kindly and with respect.
Correct.
And love and caring.
Yes. We try very hard to promote that, all that.
We want to foster that environment.
Yes.
So that's our world at Neuromotor Training. That's our world. This was a dream I had for many years, to have a business, a gym, a clinic, a therapy center, whatever you want to call it. It's all those things. It becomes a community. It becomes a community that is where people can get to know each other and be friends. They still do their work. They walk out feeling better physically, but we have fun. We treat each other with respect. We do our best jobs. We're the best at what we do. I'm just going to tell you right now, without my ego, this is not an ego thing. We're the best at what we do, period, in this area. That's because we have to create results for you. We have to deliver to you our best, because why would we do any less? Because when we treat others with kindness, when we treat them with respect, when we help you move better, feel better, well, you're going to feel, that makes us feel better. That makes everyone around you feel better. So I am the consummate optimist. But it may not sound like it for just a few minutes, but, I'm going to be serious. We have some things to talk about. One of the things I'd like to talk about, friends, is before I put this show, I had the show put together before yesterday's horrific, heartbreaking, disgusting Trump shooting. I had this put together, and when that happened, it just sealed the deal that I must deliver my thoughts on being kind. Because last night's event, what happened to Mr. Trump, is a despicable thing. Would you agree?
I agree 100%. Despite whether you like the man or don't, or either of the candidates, everyone should be treated with respect. And he was our former president and is running for presidency again. Nobody deserves to be treated like that.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to start off like this, folks, today. I had other things, but this trumps, no pun intended, I really don't mean that. This trumps everything. The assassination attempt against him trumps every single thing on my list, which you still will hear because it solidifies my beliefs, my thoughts, my opinions, my heart, my gut, my faith in what I need to say and share to hopefully, maybe reach one person or more to maybe cause you to think just a little differently if you think you need to or you want to, or if anyone thinks you should or whatever. The show today is really set to be the subject of kindness in relationship to longevity, because guess what? The data's out. When we are kind to others, we tend to live longer and better. Well, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
I think so. I believe in that.
I want you, when you're listening, to have a unique and transformative experience that will help you to live longer and better and be happier. Today is something that most people won't discuss. Being kind to others is not something that you hear too much about, and I listen to a lot of talk radio. But it is profoundly important, and it is profoundly related to your health. It's not just your physical health. This is about nurturing a respectful and enriching environment for ourselves, who we must also take care of, and those around us. I was so saddened last night. Okay, here's the one thing I'm going to say. And you may just decide to switch stations because all of a sudden you can't stand me anymore. It's fine. I hope you don't, because we're all entitled to our opinions. God only knows all talk radio has a lot of opinions. Here's the one time only I will ever say how I feel about the two candidates who are running for president. You will never hear anything more from me about politics, as I will not discuss it with you, because it's my business and it's not yours. I do not like Donald Trump. I despise him. But guess what? I don't want him dead. I don't want him shot. I don't want him killed. And I will not be voting for Joe Biden. So you figure out what you want with that. Make of it what you wish. It doesn't matter if I don't like Mr. Trump. I'm not too fond of Joe Biden, okay? In my opinion, it's kind of sad to think that these are the only two guys out there that we have to choose from. I mean, you could add in RFK, but he can't get into ballots, and I won't comment on that. I don't know enough to comment on that. But I will tell you this. Biden doesn't need to be shot. Trump doesn't need to be shot. And this is not how we need to be acting. The other thing that bothers me a whole lot, and I'm going to go off, and then we're going to get more positive after this. Prior to knowing anything about the shooter, and just get on Twitter or X. Well, if you want to get some attitude, go there, because that's where people unleash. And they are a different version of themselves. Just go on there and look last night before, and some of these people who are unleashing this stuff are talk show hosts saying that Biden arranged to have the trigger pulled.
That's horrible.
And then there's the ones who say Trump arranged to have it pulled and almost get killed so that he would be felt sorry for and win the election. Oh my gosh, folks, come on already. Are we in high school? Are you 15 years old? Are you acting like a bunch of teenagers who are freshmen in high school, spewing out all kinds of crap? This is absolutely uncalled for, and this is the kind of stuff that's driving me absolutely crazy. I can't even watch the news because, of course, if you go to the mainstream media, you're going to get spun. Well, where do you get any real news? I don't know. People tell me where I should go, and then I go there and I think, this is spun. I don't have a whole lot more to say about any of that, but I do have a lot to say in that I prayed, and I will continue to pray for former President Donald Trump, that he is safe, that his family is safe, and for Joe Biden. Yes, Joe Biden. I'll pray for him. I'll pray for everybody, that we're all safe and that we all come to our senses and stop acting like teenagers and accusing this and that and everyone has, we have to go to break in a few seconds. When I come back, I will have calmed down a little, but I had to get this off my chest, and we're going to talk with Elizabeth. We got things to share. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Thank you. All right. I calmed down a little bit. Actually, it wasn't that riled up. It just needed to get that off my chest. We've had a great divide going on, and it's getting deeper and deeper.
It's sad. It's very, very sad.
There, to me, in my opinion, my very, humble opinion, there's no room for any of this kind of stuff going on, like this attempted this assassination last night.
No.
And of all the times, and especially with the Great Divide right now, I mean, we have people coming in our clinic, and most of them are Trump people. So I don't even talk about it because I just don't want to go there. I love all of them. Just because they like Trump doesn't mean I don't like them. I love them. There's some great people. Love them. Value them. I value them as human beings with big hearts. But we're not going to talk about this stuff in my clinic. And when it does start up, I try to divert conversations, because all of a sudden you get into, this and that and blame and blame and blame and blame and blame. I am tired of it. So rather than blaming, it seems like in this great divide we have right now, wouldn't this be a great time? Seriously, folks, I implore you to think about this. A great time to step back, take a breath, and come together. This is the United States of America. Not just the states of America with a great divide. This is the United States of America. We can do this. It's a choice. I don't have to agree with your politics or your religion. I'm a Catholic. I love the sacraments. I love being Catholic. Maybe you're charismatic. You're evangelist. What? I don't care. And I won't judge you. Nor should you judge me on my faith and my belief or my politics, which you heard all you're ever going to hear, because you'll never hear any more about it from me, ever. Because I won't go there, because I have my rights. My rights are I vote for who I want, and I move on with my life, and I treat people kindly. I do my job. I help people. I love my family. But it would be a great time to step back, because you know what? This all ties in with your health. And no pun intended, but your health does matter. So does our health as a society. I mean, do you have any thoughts on any of this stuff? You have some great thoughts. I saw what you wrote.
I believe that change starts with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
My actions every day affect who's around me. There's days I've gone into the clinic and Karl looks at me and says, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Nope, not right now." And he's like, "Okay." what can I do? And I was like, I just need a little time. And then I just regroup, but I do not take it out on those that are around me. I try my best to be positive, to reach out to people and see their needs. We have people come in the clinic that have much worse situations in their lives. They can't move. They can't function very well. They have, physical problems, and that leads into other problems, probably financial problems or emotional problems. You have to remain positive, and if I can make them smile and make them feel better and walk out that door with a better outlook in life, then that's what I have to do. And it's hard. It's hard, but you have to do it. I cannot go out and change the world, the whole atmosphere of the world, the whole feeling, but I can change the way people perceive me. Smiling at somebody, holding the door for somebody, complimenting somebody. I get very upset when, I'm sorry, women, but I like getting compliments. And I get very upset when women are offended by a man just saying, "You look nice today." What is wrong with that? I don't understand that. A long time ago, before any of this started, I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to compliment somebody. It doesn't matter, male or female. If I see something about that person, I was going to compliment them. And I did this one day at Marshall's. I was shopping, and there was this young girl. She was across a rack from me, and I looked at her and I said, "Honey," I was like, "you are very beautiful." And she looked at me and she was like, "Thank you." She started blushing. I'm like, "No, you're just a very stunning young lady." I'm like, "Do you wear makeup?" Out of curiosity. She's like, "No, not really." I go, "Honey, you're really beautiful." Well, all of a sudden, her mother comes up from behind me, and I thought I was going to be in trouble. But she's like, "I have to thank you. We were having a horrible day this morning, and it was just horrible, and you just made my day." And I was like, "Oh, you're welcome." And I changed the whole attitude of the mother and daughter just by complimenting her.
Yeah. Amen to that. And
I'm not trying to brag.
No.
I'm just saying, if we would just look at everybody as a human being, as looking at them as Christ would look at them. I don't care what religion you are. Most religions I know preach peace. Mm-hmm. If you look at someone and just treat them like you want to be treated. I don't want to be treated badly. So I'm assuming you don't want to be treated badly, Karl. Do you want to be treated badly?
Well, I prefer not to be.
Yeah. I want to be treated with love and respect and honor. There's nothing wrong with that.
That brings up my favorite thing I ever heard Father Malachi say.
I love him.
And I will never forget sitting in the pew during his homily when he said, try to think, instead of thinking like a human, try to think more like God. Now, he's talking about this in relation to something similar to what we're talking about today. We're humans, and we do have, our past. Some people, maybe it's PSTD. I mean, I have my own stuff from my past when I was growing up. I'm going to tell you right now.
Me too.
Things weren't always pretty.
Nope.
There were things happening that were not pretty. And I get triggers once in a while on this, and it disturbs me. But I do my best to realize that this is now. I have control. I can choose what I think or feel almost all the time. It's easier said than done sometimes, but I have the power of free will. And then if somebody comes in and something happens, they look at me a certain way, and it reminds me of a look I used to get from somebody, maybe in my family when I was a kid, or some uncomfortable, horrible thing. I like, you know what? And I need to think like God, not like me right now, because me doesn't like this, and me needs to just get bigger than me. I need to be bigger than this and not be a reactive organism and just, okay, I'm bigger than this. It's going to be okay. And it never works out badly unless I choose for it to not take control. So thank you, Father Malachi. We really miss you a lot. He was at Holy Family. Now he's in Cortland, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's one thing. You know, I look at a lot of different things, the politics and the hatred right now. It's been going on. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And the mudslinging and all this stuff in the media. You know, it just depends on where you go and what you're going to hear and what spin you're going to have to listen to. But we just need to really step back. This is an opportunity, actually. This horrific event that did kill somebody is an opportunity now to step back, take a breath, come together. You know, there have been as of yesterday, there were 309 mass shootings in the United States this year. 390 people have been killed. Defined as a mass shooting is defined as 4 or more, according to what I looked up. 4 or more people is in the crowd. And the people dead are 390, not including the perpetrators, the shooters. Okay. 309 mass shootings this year. I won't get into talking about guns or regulations. I don't know enough, and I really don't have an opinion on this. I have a couple of guns. I'm not going to kill anybody, but whatever. You know, they're just little 22s, you know, from a long time ago. My grandfather made Remington arms, and I'm not going to give them up.
Don't blame me.
So there you go. But I'm not anti-gun. I'm anti this behavior, this judgment, this lack of respect, the lack of people being able to take action. We are, in a lot of ways, I see us as a weak society with a lot of weak individuals with a lack of true leadership and an abundance of ignorance. And I will add another thing, an abundance of entitlements for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons I don't go to Walmart anymore. I just can't go. I can't do it. Sorry. A lot of great people go to Walmart. I can't do it.
I won't go to Walmart anymore either.
I'm done. I'd rather pay more somewhere else. Do I have the extra money? Probably, but I don't have much money.
You know my story about Walmart.
Oh, yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Last month, horrible.
Walking out.
And the store didn't care.
Well, they
You
cared.
got called a name
Yeah.
that will not be repeated here
No, it won't repeat it
from
on
somebody
there.
who was selling something.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't pay attention, I was called a name.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I just ignored the person as I was walking out the store, and they called me a name. I was like, are you kidding me? But, and I didn't need it. But you know what? I go on, and I try to be the best person I can be.
You are an amazing human being, I got to tell you.
I've had, difficulties in my life.
You have.
And
some serious stuff.
And I've overcome. There's once, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. I know what it's like to be treated badly, horrifically, not taken seriously. And, when I held grudges and when I held that hurt and when I held that unforgiveness, it made me feel sick. It made me feel weak. It made me feel sad. I got depressed. My health was not good. But you know what? Since I've changed my opinion, I don't listen to the news very often. I don't, because I can't. It hurts me.
But before we go to break, first of all, thank you, Father Bill, for a beautiful, beautiful homily today, which I couldn't believe it. It was all what we're talking about today. During his homily, I typed some notes that I can barely read. Think about this. A lot of people who listen to the station are Christians. And if you're not, I'm sure you'll appreciate this. Just a couple thoughts real quick. Is the world a better place today because you lived in it yesterday? Did you act like a Christian? Were you treating people the way you wish to be treated? We must go to break. This is Karl Sterling, Elizabeth Brusa. Your Health Matters. We'll be back after the bottom of the hour break. Thank you. We had to lighten it up a little bit, folks. I'm in a break. There's 4 minutes. She's picking on me the whole time.
No, that's not the truth.
No, that is not true, actually. But it was fun when you did for a few seconds. So, all right, I'm going to go through a list of things here. And Jim, thanks for your text I just got. Oh, and the other Jim, too. Thank you to both Jims for both of your texts. Okay. Well, being respectful to others, the power of respect and building stronger communities and relationships. Oh, that goes a long ways. That goes a long ways. And, I have this thought about not being an idiot. I had another word in there, but I really don't want to lower myself to the word that I was going to say. And understanding the impact of your behavior, or let's say our behavior as a community, on others. And then how about maybe this idea of practicing empathy and kindness consistently? I'll tell you who is the queen of random acts of kindness. That's Tammy. Tammy, since I met her, she just does stuff for people. She doesn't know the people. She just does stuff. I mean, I know other people like that. Dr. Barry, he's the king of random acts of kindness. He's one of the most giving human beings in the world. It's just, to me, so... My friend Don in Nashville, he's just an amazing human being. I mean, and you do this too. And Mother Teresa, that's my godmother and your stepmother. Padre Amadeo, he just texts out of the blue. Hey, how's it going, Karl? He doesn't have time to text me, yet he does. I feel so special, and I would do anything for that man, or these, there are people out there who are practicing these things, and I've learned from them. Serving others. I serve God, I serve others. That's really, I take care of myself because I want to be healthy enough so I can continue to do what I do. There are a lot of inspiring stories of people who are doing things for other people to help. I have a little nonprofit foundation, which at this point I only support one family every month with some financial down in Monterrey, Mexico. Because, I'll tell you, you want to know why I don't support 6 anymore?
Why?
Because 5 of them never said thank you once.
That's important.
Now, this lady's and her family who, I was there last September. I went to her house. It's a part dirt floor, leaky roof, refrigerator's empty. She has Parkinson's, no money for levodopa. Everything's over the counter down there except antibiotics and heart medications. So you go to any pharmacy in Mexico and you can get whatever you want if it's not those 2 things. The problem is a lot of people don't have resources, and so they go to the generic pharmacy. Guess who controls the drugs that go into the pharmacies in Mexico? The government has 100% control of all medications that go into generic pharmacies. And Laura, if you're listening, please text me and let me know if I'm wrong on this. She's the one who told me this. And so I don't know about the brand name pharmacies, but I would assume you're getting brand name things there, but it costs a lot more money. So if you don't have the money and you get, let's say for Parkinson's, you get levodopa, carbidopa, but it's only like a small percentage of the dose it's supposed to be, then you don't have the positive effects, and it doesn't minimize your symptoms. It doesn't give you that on period. So this lady suffers and suffers. Do you know that for 4.5 years, every month, we send, I vet everybody. They have to prove that they buy this stuff. They have to show me the receipts, everything. I get an email, boom, done. Every single day, including today, I get a thank you from her.
Well, that's sweet.
Every single day. Thank you, Sylvia. Muchas gracias por todo. Eres una mujer súper, súper incredible y espero que te sientes bien. Siempre. Think more like God rather than like a human. Try to stop judging people. I was an agnostic until I was 58, but I wasn't. It wasn't like I wasn't a nice guy. Now, I've heard people say things like, well, does this person love Jesus? Well, what if they don't? Does that mean they're not nice? No, it doesn't mean that. It means maybe they just haven't found what would be good for them. Overcoming biases and prejudice. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, man. It is tough. But cultivating strategies to be generous is the toxic effects of greed. That's the opposite of what I just said. I mean, on mental health, this is a big strain. This is horrible. And then that affects your physical health, your emotional health, and we got all kinds of problems. How about the people who are trying to control others in their lives? Yeah, you want to get me on a real rant? I won't say anything more about that one. But nobody's trying to control me in my life. But I can tell you I've seen people try to do it, and you've experienced your own things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You've been through it.
I've been through it.
That's total BS. You know, people do weird things. I've done weird things. I have hurt people. I have hurt people horribly in my life. I regret it every single day. But my goal now is to serve others, do a good job, be friendly, be kind, try to do nice things, not be an energy sucker or an emotional suction cup to somebody. Let's go forward. Let's talk about gym etiquette.
Oh, gym etiquette. Okay.
Oh, boy. Do you have anything to say before I get going?
Well,
I'll start.
Okay.
Let me start. Okay.
I'm sorry.
We have a small place. Now, to me, it's large and it's a dream come true, but it's not 40,000 feet like Crunch or Planet Fitness or whatever that is.
Right.
It's 2,600 square feet. That's small when you got 8 people in there.
Correct.
Or 3 people in there. You're close.
Very close.
There's some people now, a handful of people where we can't have them come in. We don't let them come in anymore. And we had discussion about it because, first of all, they don't think it's important enough to cancel an appointment. So they just don't show up. Well, would you just not show up for your doctor or your hair appointment?
No.
Yeah. If you're not going to show up for your trainer or your therapist, you better make a call.
Correct.
Just common courtesy. Of course, then there's the ones who come in and they walk in, and usually, I don't know why it is, these people have their hands in their pockets, and they walk right up to you in your personal space, and they hijack any conversation you're in. That's not cool.
No.
First of all, get out of our personal space and don't interrupt people. Isn't that kind of like manners 101 when you're growing up? Don't interrupt.
Or at least say, excuse me.
Yeah.
Or pardon me.
Thank you.
My thing is, it takes just as much time to be nice and courteous and use manners as it is to be rude, mean, and ugly.
You know what? That might be my favorite quote of the day. You're right.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to be nice, is it?
No.
What drew me to talking about this too is this people who want attention.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry if you want attention and you don't get it. Maybe there's another way you should go about trying to get it. My tonality is a little different than I kind of wanted it to be today. But you know what? I'm also being transparent. I'm being authentic. I'm being genuine. I'm being honest.
Yes.
Just be nice. Just be kind.
Consider those who are around you. You're not the only one in the world. I'm sorry.
Especially when there's a lady who's 88 years old with dementia and Parkinson who wants to use a power plate. Soon we'll have 4.
Yay.
Just grow up, okay? Grow up. You can move around. She can barely walk. Grow up.
Yep.
We got to go to break at the 45 here. So it's about 40 seconds ago. So anyways, I'm hearing myself. Okay. So we're going to head out to a break in a minute. President Biden is going to be coming on at noon, I'm told. So we're not sure how long that break will be. So we have another quarter hour to go before he comes on. Maybe it's 5 minutes or it could be a lot longer. We don't know. But when we come back, we're going to talk about, we're going to wind this up on a positive note in the end of this first hour. And I think that's it, folks. This is Your Health Matters. Karl Sterling and Elizabeth Brusa. News Radio 570 WSYR, also available on 106.9 FM. We'll be back soon.
There's no
All right. You know, folks, been listening to a lot of my opinions today, but I got to tell you, I'm grateful to be here. I'm so grateful just to be here and to be able to have an opportunity to talk about what we do. Today we're talking about some other stuff, but this stuff does tie in with longevity. If you look it up, you're going to find there's a lot of research that talks about anger and a shorter lifespan, and longevity and happiness, and like living to be like 117 or something like that. I mean, a lot of these centenarians, I think as they call them, they do practice being grateful. They practice kindness. They practice serving others, and I think that's fascinating.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that are in their 90s. We have in our clinic, they have the most positive attitude of anyone I know.
They do. Yeah, they're in their 90s and they're coming in and they're just a real inspiration.
Yeah, they are.
In every way, not just the fact they're coming in their 90s, but they're coming in and they're imparting wisdom to us that helps me gain a new perspective on maybe how I should be looking at things or another viewpoint. So I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about exercising the power of your free will, leveraging your mental strength to improve your life, and maybe how to harness your free will to make healthier choices and to feel better. How that ties in with gym etiquette is, I haven't figured that one out yet, but we're going to talk about both. We know that if we decide, here's the thing, we're not like a dog. Okay, it's like dogs might know where their food dish is, or they might know who mommy or daddy are, sort of, if you will, or their master, or whatever you want to call, but they don't know that they know it. We know that we know things, like the circle of no. If you take a big circle of no, all there is to know, and then you divide it into 3 pieces of pie. First of all, take one little tiny piece and divide it. Cut out that little piece of pie. That's all the stuff you know. And then divide that into something. And then you're going to have all the stuff that you know, and the stuff you don't know. Now, that leaves probably 97% of the rest of the pie is stuff you don't know. That's where animals reside pretty much. They don't know that they know anything. Or they can't think like we do. But we can. Like a dog isn't going to think about, I wonder what are my goals 5 years from now? Well, I want to get petted by my owner. I want to chase the stick, the ball. I want to have fun, whatever. And I want to just continue being happy, assuming they're happy, right? So, well, we can set goals. We can also use our free will to implement the goals. We can make sometimes a decision. I made a decision a few weeks ago. I actually can't remember what it was, but it was really good, and it helped me. And so I exercised that decision, and things have been better. It had to do with work. But one of the decisions was somebody who I wasn't going to have come back into the clinic anymore because that particular person is an energy drain to everybody, and we just can't have it. We're a small place. We can't have it. And I think, where should we go with this, Elizabeth?
I just think that sometimes you have to put your foot down, and you have to do it in a loving way so no one gets hurt or no one feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And one person versus 8 or 9 in a clinic at a time acting in the wrong way can really harm people, and you just can't have it. They can make you uncomfortable. They can make you feel, I don't know, just disrespected.
There are things that happen sometimes, and I'm working on calling this out in those who are involved in it. For example, I mean, I really feel a little awkward talking about this, but there's a couple of guys who've been checking you out. And the way they're looking at you, now it's okay to give a compliment. Like the way you described that Marshall's experience, that's one thing.
Right.
Yeah, but these guys, a little bit creepy.
Yes.
The way they're staring at you. Oh, I see you got my phone number. What are you going to do with it? Oh, come on already. What do you think you're actually going to get out of that?
Nothing.
Oh, she's really going to be, she's going to call me up. No. Oh, by the way, your wife is right there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so no, that's not cool. Respect, folks. Respect.
Yep.
And if you're in a small place, even if you're in Planet Fitness, I don't care what it is, you got to change your pants or your shirt. You go to the bathroom and do it. Don't ever do it where people can see you. Your shirt, your pants, your anything. You do not do it in front of people.
No.
That's not the place to change your shirt or your pants.
Nope.
Shoes and socks, yeah, sure. We go barefoot in our place a lot. Pants and shirts, no. Don't ever do that. Be respectful. Because a lot of people don't want to see your flesh. No. We don't. Boy, I sound horrible. Oh, my gosh, I sound like a horrible human being, but I don't change my shirt in front of people in my place.
But it's things that have happened in our clinic.
It has.
And people need to know that and we're not big like Planet Fitness or Crunch.
No.
We're a small place that you could literally look across it and see what's going on very easily. We have 2 bathrooms in our clinic. They both have nice solid doors.
Yep. Use them.
Use them.
Yeah, and the 2 ladies there who,
yes,
they seem to like to strip in front of everybody.
Yes.
No. I don't want to. We're not going to put up with it.
No.
So, okay, that's done. I'm done. That's out of the way. All right. So we're going to move on because the president's coming on at 12. We're not sure when will we be back. We were going to have a guest today, but we moved him to probably next week because we're just not sure how long. So Steve Abbey from SOS Nutrients will come on, not today, but he's going to come on and talk about in the next week or 2, or we'll figure it out, about his product, which I've been using for many months, and I absolutely love it. But he's also going to talk about the sad state of the standard American diet, because trust me, folks, it's pretty bad. All right. We also have a new sponsor on the show, Motion Guidance. Well, we have the Motion Guidance laser, and very soon we're going to have the Motion Guidance pods. We'll talk about this more next hour. But Motion Guidance is out of Colorado. Eric Dinkins and Tal Blair. I don't know Tal, but I know Eric. They're both active in the practice of physical therapy, as well as continuing to make motion guidance a tool, a valuable tool, by innovating clinically relevant designs and research-backed applications to help improve movement learning strategy, patient encouragement, and rehabilitation goals. So we've had numerous people. I haven't done it so much lately because we've been using some other things, but I think we need to combine this with Newgate and some other great systems we have. We get that laser on your head, position you in the posture that is optimal for you, and then have you walk with the laser on your head with a target in front of you. I'm going to tell you what happens, folks, as these people start walking upright. Is it going to last? It will if you keep training yourself and walking and practicing and training your nervous system and your brain to walk this way, to really retraining yourself to just stand up straighter. Now, it's a complicated thing. It's not that's going to be the end-all, be-all. There's something so simple that, you wear a laser once or for a month or whatever, and you're all better. No, there are too many factors, and everyone's different. So it could take different people, different lengths of time. However, we use the motion guidance system. So if you go to motionguidance.com, I'll give you a discount code next hour because we're going to head out here soon. But it's physical therapists, chiros, personal trainers. Oh, my gosh. Use this stuff. If you're working on anyone with posture, here it is, motionguidance.com. You save 20% off products on their website by entering this, capital M, capital G, 20, so MG20 to save 20%. All right, and they have a lot of workshops coming up. There are courses on their website. Eric Jenkins is going to be on the show either mid-August or first Sunday in September. We're trying to figure that out, but you're going to love listening to him. Great guy, amazing product, lots of wisdom. And how are we doing on time here? Okay, we got two producers here. Kyla, thank you so much for your help. Dave is here. How you doing, Dave? Really good to see you, man. And Elizabeth is here co-hosting with me.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
That was cute.
And, stay with us, folks. Stay with us. The president's coming on shortly, and then we're going to come back, and whatever time we have left, we're going to talk about very positive things, okay? I got all the ranting out of my system. Just remember, be kind to each other. Be kind. Show respect. Show some love. Share some love. Make a phone call. Reach out to somebody today. Help them. Compliment them. Say hi. And we'll see you after the top of the hour break and the president's speech. Thank you.
The preceding was a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of this show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of the station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information has been for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
8 late.
The following is a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of the show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of this station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information hereafter is for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you smaller.
Your help matters with Karl Sterling on News Radio 570 WSYR on 106.9 FM and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
I take a couple lovers, I down a couple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple pills.
Bring you the latest in health and wellness so you can get to the other things that matter. Here is your host, Karl Sterling.
Okay, we're back here, and at any moment we could be interrupted for a message from President Biden. So if we get cut off, we'll be back, okay? So let's keep talking here. We did a lot of talking here about kindness in relation to longevity. I ranted. I got some things off my chest of how frustrating it is. But, if we exercise our free will, folks, we can actually decide to be positive. We can decide to make a difference. We can decide to help somebody. We can decide to be the way we would like to be treated when it comes to treating others. I know that I don't want to be treated poorly, so guess what? I'm not going to treat others poorly. Even the people I don't like, I'm probably too nice to some of them, according to some of my friends. But I'm not going to lower myself to treating them the way I think I want to treat them, because that's not how it works. Okay, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to lower myself. Doesn't make me great. I'm not special. I'm just being authentic. All right, so
I have a challenge for everybody out there.
Good.
I want everybody to go to the mirror, a mirror, look in the mirror, look in your eyes, and say, I am love. I can change the world by changing myself. I matter. Not being conceited, not being hurtful. Just try to love yourself. And that love that you have for yourself, I promise you, will spread very fast. That's all you have to do. If you don't love yourself, that's where it has to start. Start loving yourself. Yeah. Start doing what we say. Get up in the mirror and say, I can do this. I am love. And change yourself. Do what it takes to change yourself, and that will change the world.
That is beautiful and so profound. I mean, thank you for that.
You're welcome. I do it every day. I try to change myself. If you ask my brothers and sisters and my stepmother, I have worked so hard in the last 10 to 12 years of my life to change who I am, to think positively, to try. And you have helped, my friend, in the last 2 years that I've known you, to change who I am, to think about who I am. We see people with such horrible diagnosis come into our clinic with such positive attitudes that you have to just thank God every day for what you have and who you are, for the health I have, for everything. So if everybody would just go and look in the mirror, and sometimes it's hard to look at yourself and say, I am love, I can do this, and just do it. And if you need help getting moving, come see us, and we can help you get moving and help you to start living a good life.
I love what you just shared. I can't even piggyback that because it's so perfect. So here's what I will. I'll take a pathway though. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Let's think about what happens now when you have some love for yourself. You're starting to feel a little bit better. You're feeling maybe a little empowered yourself, and maybe you do one act of kindness or something to help somebody. And that person all of a sudden now has hope. Now, I've seen this all over the world. I've been all over the world. I've traveled. I've seen this in my clinic. I've seen it countless times. Somebody regaining the ability to do just a little something, such as simple as rolling over without assistance, like in bed, or in this case on the floor, well, oh my gosh. I have seen people become so empowered because they just learned how to leverage their body to roll over, to maybe get up from the floor. We had a guy from Cato a couple months ago came in. I don't think you met him.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
I did
Okay,
meet him.
yeah. Really cool guy, right?
Yep.
He's a farmer. One of his children is one of my CrossFit coaches.
Oh.
Right? So anyways, she brings her father and mother in. He had 6 weeks of PT. I've told this story before. They wouldn't teach him how to get up off the floor. That's all he wanted to know. 10 minutes with us, he's getting up off the floor. You know what? I haven't seen him again because he doesn't need me. When you come to see us, we're not here to keep you forever. You should get an education. You should learn what to do. You should be able to empower yourself with some knowledge and skills that we help, impart upon you, and then you do the work. We're tour guides. You do the work. You function better. Oh my gosh, this can be a life-changing thing, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. This empowerment can go so far.
And when your family sees you getting better, it helps them.
That ripple effect is huge.
And then
the sense of relief in this gentleman's wife. Oh my gosh. I mean, we've seen this countless times. We're not magicians, but we know what to do to help you. We show you, you do the work. You're not going to find it anywhere else around town because nobody does what we do because I'm the weirdo. And so, she just signaled me of, why don't you talk about that?
We had a woman come into our clinic. She started with a wheelchair and walker. She now is with a cane, trying to get rid of the cane. And we all stood there. We've told this story before. We were crying.
Yeah.
Crying because she's walking with a cane. And now she's trying to walk without the cane.
Yeah. She struts in. I love
I know.
the way she walks in with that attitude, like, come on, bring it on.
But you should see her husband.
Bring it on. Yeah.
The thing is, her husband looks at her and he's so proud.
Yeah.
He just cheers her on. And it's just and then they tell us about the grandkids telling us how proud they are of the grandmother. And it's just amazing the ripple effect that you can have with positivity, with kindness, with love. It's just amazing. It just goes. And instead of doing the opposite where it's negative or mean or anything that just, we don't need that anymore in this world. We need more positivity. We need more love. We need more kindness.
We as humans have free will. And if we choose to exercise positivity, now trust me, I know that it's so much easier said than done a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
There are times I wake up and I just feel actually physically sick to my stomach, and I'm feeling a little bit anxious about maybe the day ahead of me and what the workload is. We're busy, but thank God for the busyness and the ability to help people, and that people walk out feeling better. And I never feel like I'm doing enough, ever. But, that's just how I am. But
You're a people pleaser.
I know.
So am I, though.
Yeah. I guess it's better than not caring, But that can have detrimental effects on us, too, if we're always looking to please others. Because you can't do that.
Nope.
But, geez, we have free will. So my free will is, okay, I get out of bed. I don't feel necessarily that good. And, all I have to do is move. Do you know that if you move, you create neurochemicals in the brain? Do you know if you lift some weights, if you do a squat, maybe you sit down in the chair, and just before you hit the chair, you just hold right above the chair in an isometric low squat. So you're not actually sitting, but you're almost seated. Do you know that the contractions of the muscles, and you sent me this the other day, and I've read it other places, secretes hormones that make you happy, like oxytocin?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
So resistance training is so good for your mental health. Probably why I felt so much energy yesterday. I did the most brutal CrossFit workout, but I actually loved it. My kids were both there, right? I'm doing like handstand push-ups. Well, my version of them, which is not quite like an actual handstand, but my feet were on the wall and I was upside down and I'm doing like 10 push-ups and 10 push-ups. And then we're doing all this other stuff and running. And oh my gosh. So we got to go to a break already. But we will be back. This is Your Health Matters with Elizabeth Brusa, Karl Sterling, here on News Radio 570 WSYR, also on 106.9 FM. We'll be back after this break. Okay, welcome back. And I have a few announcements here. They're things that I forget because I get so into these conversations that sometimes I forget things. Okay, I have written three books, actually. Two of them are about Parkinson's disease, and one is about walking your way to longevity. All right, so whether you have Parkinson's or not, or another movement disorder or neurological condition, these books are for all humans. Now, they address Parkinson's, but all the intervention strategies to help manage disease symptoms, improve movement, cognition, memory, multitasking, and also reduce fall risk, they're all in these books. Okay, Parkinson's Regeneration. Parkinson's. What's the name of that book? Oh yeah, Parkinson's Regeneration Training is the first book. It's like a really thick 500-page thing. Parkinson's Empowerment Training, and then I can't remember the name of the third one, but it has to do with walking your way to steps to longevity. But if you go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K, I want to tell you that this month, until the end of the month, they are on sale on Amazon for the lowest price allowed. I make, I think it's 2 or 3 cents per book. That's my profit. So, yeah, I could sell 1 million of them and I'd have 1 million cents. Right now, what was that line I said the other day? Oh, they're 1 million seller. I got 1 million of them in my cellar. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So, no, that was a CD I recorded. Yeah. Well, anyways, go to karlsterling.com, and then you can link through to Amazon, which is the only place you can buy them, or you can stop into the clinic and buy them from me, but I don't have many left, so just buy them on Amazon. And the links are there, and they're the lowest price that is allowed by Amazon. I'm selling them for the production cost. That's it. And they're full, loaded with information. I'm going to tell you, it's going to take you a long time to read the first one, and you use that as a resources. I have therapists, people with Parkinson's all over the world. And by the way, they're both available in but Parkinson's books in Spanish too. So if you happen to be in a Spanish-speaking, anywhere, well, you can get them both in Spanish too, for the lowest price possible. Let's see. I had another thing I wanted to mention here, that we have a Power Plate Complete Wellness program now. We have 3 power plates with another coming soon. And so we will have 4 power plates, maybe even a 5th soon. Didn't tell you that one, did I? But anyways, we do have a 4th one coming for sure in the next week, maybe 2 weeks or less. And so with that program, I'm going to tell you right now that the way your muscles are worked, you will gain strength. You will gain flexibility. You will improve fluid flow of blood, venous flow of blood back to the heart. You'll wake up nerves in your feet. You'll wake up your nervous system, your brain. You will get lymphatic fluid moving. You can help improve posture, decrease pain, improve bone density, joint stability, and spinal stability. Yes, you can do your entire workout on the power plate, and that's we're really kind of transferring a lot of people more towards that because it is so effective and what it does to your mitochondrial health. So we have people joining up. It's $139 per month per person, no contract, cancel at any time. And you just come in whenever we're open and you use them. It's first come, first served. There's no appointment necessary. Of course, we have our biodensity program. We're having people coming in all the time now with DEXA scans showing that they're out of osteoporosis or they're partially out of it. And all the numbers are improving. T-scores are getting better. Z-scores are getting better. Their bone health is improving. Their bone density is increasing. And they're getting stronger because this machine we have packs on muscle mass. That one, you just go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K, check it out. Go to the biodensity tab. The pricing is there. All the research we have is downloadable, clickable links, and you won't get this anywhere else between Utica and Rochester, only at our clinic. What else you got on your tablet there?
My tablet?
Your notebook?
My notebook?
Yeah.
We often talk about being a burden to someone.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Well, that word seems a little harsh, the word burden. But then I looked up the definition, and then I realized it's not as harsh as I thought it was. The definition of burden I found on Google is someone or something that is very difficult to accept, do, or deal with. A heavy burden of sorrow or guilt. When I looked at it like that, like I don't want to be a burden to someone. And it sounds so hard to say that because if you love someone, it shouldn't be a burden to take care of them. But then I was thinking about it. When you see a loved one choosing an action or a certain way of life that is going to be harmful to their health or lifestyle, and they don't do it, then they don't change it, their action, then it seems the word burden is appropriate because that person is choosing to do wrong and they're choosing for you to have to deal with the consequences of their choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If somebody comes down with cancer, that's not their choice, really, unless they've chosen something in their life that has caused the cancer.
Yeah, maybe they're smoking or something.
Or they're smoking
like
or drinking or that's what I mean. You don't want if you're smoking, try to stop. If you're drinking too much, get help.
Yeah.
Because you do not want those actions or drug addiction. You do not want those actions to cause someone in your life that loves you deeply to have those effects of that action, to have to take care of you in the long run. And you don't want them to be thinking about that. Like when my dad was sick, he did not choose to have his problems. Mm-hmm. He was getting older, and this is what happens. He didn't want us to worry about him, but I did worry about him because I loved him. And I had to choose every day. I would think, is today the day my father's going to pass away? Is today he's going to fall or hurt himself? What's going to happen? That was a stress in my life to think like that. My father would hate that I thought like that, but I did because I loved him. Mm-hmm. But when you do actions of smoking or drinking or drugs that are going to cause somebody this problem in the long run, that they're going to have to, that's not right. That's not right. Or if you choose not to lose the weight and not to move, that's going to affect someone down the line. Not just you, it's going to affect someone else in your life. That's when it's wrong. That's when the burden happens.
Yeah, I'm on board with you on that because I've said it so many times, but I guess it bears repeating. I was a big boy, 16, 17, 18, whenever it was. I weighed a lot, and I wasn't being responsible. I was too much alcohol, too much food, not enough movement. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. You do not have to listen to what I say when it comes to alcohol, but I'm going to say this. The research about wine, red wine, and resveratrol being good for your muscles, your cells, your heart, your mitochondria. No. It might have a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of benefit, but it's so minute. It's not worth it. Oh, go ahead and drink it. I'm not telling you not to drink it. I'm saying that your liver will get fatty and your brain will turn to mush because that's what happens. Now, maybe your brain isn't mush today, but what about 10 years from now? Well, you're 70 years old, and what about in 10 years? You're going to have mush? Because the research is looking like you probably will if you're not careful. Now, maybe you're genetically set up where it's not going to affect you. I mean, cripes, I have people in my family lived to be in their late 90s before they had any kind of cognitive issues. They were in their mid-90s. So, I mean, genetically, there's a lot to be considering as well. But what if you're genetically set up, predisposed to mush and brain cells deteriorating? I mean, I think if alcohol was invented today, it would be illegal because people die. They get in the car and they die. I mean, they crash and they kill people. I'm really on thin ice here with this. I'm on very, very thin ice with this. I'm fully aware of it. But my personal, after seeing, my son is an emergency room physician. If you knew what he has seen in the way of alcohol, drugs, I'm not just saying alcohol, I'm talking drugs. We're talking about life-changing things that mess you up or kill you. You're done. And like the effects, that ripple effect too, can be extremely huge. We got to go to a break, bottom of the hour here. And we'll be back. You're listening to Your Health Matters News Radio, 570 WSYR. We'll see you after this break.
Tamburino.
Okay, folks, welcome back. A little bit more about alcohol. I don't want to offend anybody. I mean, I'm really not in this to tell you what to do, but I am in this business to help you maybe gain a perspective that you might not otherwise have thought of. For example, let's just say it's that 1 or 2 glasses of wine per night you're taking. Well, if you're having osteoporosis issues, you might want to consider stopping the wine because we know for sure it's going to impact your bone health. And then people wonder why. Well, why I have fatty liver disease, and why this and why that, and why is my cognition diminished? Well, maybe it's not the wine, but there's a pretty good chance that it is. I'm not anti-wine. I'm not trying to single out wine. I'm just saying any kind of alcoholic beverage, okay? So the old data on this, it's just like the food pyramid. I was watching Jordan Peterson the other day, who I really like a lot. Jordan Peterson said he just was so appalled when he found out that the food pyramid is just completely irrelevant and wrong. And what we were taught all these years is really not what's good for us, right? It should be turned upside down, I think is what he said. But what about the wine? Well, good for your heart health. Well, whatever. I know people who come to see me who have said, well, I don't care what you tell me to do. I'll do all of it, except I won't stop my booze. I mean, we've had some. Yeah. I will not stop my booze. Okay. Well, how much booze are you having? One gentleman I happen to know is 3 to 4 drinks a night. Well, whatever. I'm not judging you. I had more than that when I drank. Okay, I was there. I was there for years. But it didn't help me. It didn't help me make any good decisions. My liver was messed up. I mean, really, and we've had people ask, well, I have, to talk about these things. Like, how did you quit? How did I quit? I stopped. That's it. I didn't go get help. I didn't do 12-step. I didn't do anything. I put the bottle down and said, that's it. I'm done. No more. And that's how it worked. I'm not suggesting that it's that easy, but that is That's how it worked for me.
But you also had someone that you answered to if you were struggling.
True. Yeah. So what I would advise for anybody, and this is what Dr. Terry Walls said of the Walls Protocol, who was on a few months ago. When we get into some type of an intervention, dietary-wise, which, of course, your alcohol would be included in a diet if it's something you intake. If you put it in your body, other than a medication or a supplement, probably. Well, I don't know, supplements. But let's just say food and drink. If you're putting in your body, it's intake. What's the intake doing once it gets into your system? Well, we have better results when we have a group or family support. And I did have support.
You did?
Yep. So, support, I had power of free will, though. And to this day, like, if I was to have anything alcoholic, I don't know how I'd be afraid. I'd be really afraid of what, actually, I'd be afraid what it would do to my body. But also be very, very concerned about how it would make me feel, because I feel in control of my body all the time, except for once in a while when I have too much coffee. But I can deal with that a lot better than, being tipsy. And I don't want to make bad decisions. I've already hurt enough people in my life. I'm not going to do that ever again. I need to do good things. I need to treat people well. I want to treat people well. And I won't be doing that if I don't take care of myself. If I eat too much of the bad stuff and I gain 50 pounds, or you'll get 80 pounds, whatever. If I make bad decisions because I've had substances I shouldn't have, I never got into drugs, just booze. That's just not good. But addiction is real. And, for those who have reached out asking, how do you quit? Talk to your family. See if they will support you. Talk to somebody. Go to somebody. Maybe it's professional help. Talk to your doctor. Talk to somebody. Talk to your pastor. Talk to your priest. Talk to somebody. Talk to many people if it takes that. Because if you really want to do something, I have this theory, and it doesn't mean it's right. It's definitely not. It's just an opinion is what it is. If you really are committed to changing, you're going to announce it to the world.
Yep.
Yeah, you will announce it. You'll put it on Facebook. You'll put it on Instagram. You'll do whatever. You'll tell everybody in the world, I no longer do this. Or I now am committed to this. And, then you've got people who are looking, hey, you're doing what you're talking about? And if you're not, well, it looks bad. Nobody wants to look bad, right? So you got to follow through.
I could tell you a story about a gentleman,
my
religious ed teacher in St. Cecilia's in Solvay, New York.
Mm-hmm.
He was he wanted to quit smoking. And he came into our class one day. He says, I want you to hold me accountable for smoking. I want you to ask me every day if I smoked. And I'm going to have a jar next to my bed. And every time I'm going to put a quarter, I think it was a quarter or a dime, I don't know, but some kind of money he put in the jar. So every day we'd ask him, did you smoke? No, I did not. Or yes, I did. And he put money in the jar. And I remember him coming back on a weekend and we asked him, and he went off on us because and he's like, yes, I did, but I was having a terrible weekend. And then he turned around and apologized. Mm-hmm. But he ended up quitting. He did not smoke after that. I think it took him 6 months, maybe longer. But we held him accountable. And because we asked him every day if he stopped smoking, he eventually stopped smoking.
Good for him.
Yep.
And I know that is a hard one because of all the chemicals and drugs and whatever's in those cigarettes.
He was a wonderful guy. He was a deacon.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy, and it's easy to fall back. There's this bag of potato chips at my house right now.
It's calling you. Is that what it's doing?
Oh, it did, and I went to it, but just a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. I think I'm into 3 days, and it's only half gone. Because, see, if there's a bag of chips in the house, it's going to get eaten. Probably mostly by me. But, I don't, I just can't go crazy on it. I can't do it anymore. I have to be mindful of it, because if I eat the whole thing, I'm going to feel horrible.
Right.
Plus, I'll get that carb high, and then I'll feel like I want to crash. Quitting, anything like that, changing your diet, free will. They say that a lot of things that are easy to do or easy not to do. It could be. I remember Jim Rohn, this motivational speaker I really loved. And he passed away years ago. Could be picking up the phone to make a call. It's easy not to do. It's also easy to pick up the phone, dial the number, and just start saying some words. And then our mind gets engaged in like the person we're dealing with and how they might be to us and blah, 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 blah. And, well, I think the anticipation or the anxiety around what might be discussed or reactions or that's probably way worse than the actual call, because most of the things that we worry about never happen. And a lot of the reactions we expect that people will have actually never occur. And sometimes we're pleasantly surprised by, hey, I'd like to try this and I need your support. Try it, folks. You might get some support. You might change your life. You actually might change somebody else's life. You might be the role model for somebody. You might be the example for somebody else who's looking to do it. And sometimes it really involves those who we are around. I was saying last week, I can't remember who we were talking with. Maybe you need new friends. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you're going out and you're tipping the bottle, even if it's not much, well, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's not illegal. It's not wrong. But is it the best thing for you? Depends upon, I guess that's up to you. If you want to make a change, though, if you want to get to bed earlier, maybe get up earlier, like I finally started doing a few years ago. I go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest. I'm up at 6, 6:15, 6:30 at the latest, except for today I got up later, like 7. And it's sometimes we need to choose different people to be around, and those who we were around may not understand, but if they're not supporting you and they're dragging you back in, you don't have the willpower to stay away or make the change. It can be tough. There's a lot to it, a lot of elements to it. So we're going to head out to a break, friends, and it's always so good to be here, and it's wonderful. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with my friend Elizabeth Brusa and share with you. So this is Your Health Matters, News Radio 570 WSYR. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Okay, we're back for the final quarter hour of Your Health Matters. Elizabeth made a comment on the break, but she told me I have to say this.
I can say it if you want me to.
Go ahead. Your words are so, you just say it. Yeah.
Life isn't easy. We all have been through things. I can tell you from my experience, there was one part in my life that I could tell you I was suicidal. I was angry. I was bitter. I actually had a friend of mine, Padre, come off the altar after a mass and said, "You need to get help. You are too angry. I can see it on you." Mm-hmm. I am very, very fortunate, and I know a lot of people aren't as fortunate as I am. I have a very caring and loving family. My father helped me get help. My stepmother, Padre, helped me. I cannot, and my brothers and sisters, I cannot be more grateful for that help. And if it wasn't for those people, I don't know where I would be in my life today. I might be dead. I might have killed. I had a counselor tell me, I would have killed myself. That's how low I was, people. But I sought the help, and I got it. And I'm very happy to this day. It took a long time, but I fought every single day. And I have triggers. I'm not saying I don't. And I have to, Karl has seen me. My anxiety gets going, and he asks me, "Are you okay?" No, but I will be. I just know what I have to do.
You are really good at working that out.
I try.
Yeah. And you're fast. It's like you figured out management systems.
I can remember one time I left the clinic. I said, "I have to leave. I'm having an anxiety attack." And I left. This was about 2 years ago. And I went home and I literally curled up on the couch. And I was like, something triggered it. And then I stood up and I said, "This is stupid. I can't live like this. I can't let one person's words or actions control me. And I literally got up off the couch and said, okay, I'm done. I have to move. I have to get going. And it changed my whole outlook.
First of all, bravo to you. I mean, things like this are absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Now you have made a decision and exercised your free will. And this is something that we can all do, except that sometimes we have to be in the position where we're able to do it. I'm not saying that just because you want to make a decision and do something, you're going to be able to pull it off. Because I didn't. I wanted to, but I just couldn't do it yet. I had to come to the point where it was, okay, this is it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of blah, blah. Well, you did it. And I see you. Well, you're so great with it. Everybody loves you. We're really so lucky to have you.
Thank you.
And we're a pretty fun team in there, aren't we?
I think so.
Yeah, we have a good time. We have a really good time.
We have people say, "Oh, you two are so funny."
We take our work seriously, but we have fun. And, we want to foster an environment where there is positivity.
Yes.
And I think we have that almost all the time, which is really a beautiful thing. Like, I was thinking about. So I was very upset last night. I stayed awake for about an hour after I got in bed. I'm just thinking about the sad state of things with this great divide we have politically and all the mudslinging and all these, even talk show hosts who are slinging out accusations that Biden had a trigger pulled or whatever. Oh my gosh, and then I'm like, you know what though? I get to go first of all, I get to go to Mass in the morning, and that does me so much good. And the other thing is I get to come here, and then I'm so excited to get up the next day. Like, I go to bed so excited for the next day. Oh, how lucky is that? I love it. I'll get my sleep. But like tomorrow, I'm looking forward to working.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to not working the rest of today. But I'm looking forward to working tomorrow because we have a cool place. We have cool people. We have you there. It's amazing.
My daughter gets mad at me because I love to go to work.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you do.
But it is. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. The programs we have, we should probably mention that too, because I don't really promote us that much online or on the radio here. Go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. Go there. Check it out. Check out what we do, what we have. The landing page will tell you a whole lot. And we got the Power Play Complete Wellness Program. We don't have the $30 a month membership anymore, so that's gone. But we need to provide more than that. So we have to charge more because what we have costs a ton of money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars when you add it all up. Hundreds. And so we can't, be cheap. We're not going to be cheap. But I can tell you can go pay more elsewhere and get a lot less. And get an environment where people may not care as much. And there are some really good places out there too, though. I don't mean to sound like we're the only great place. No, we're a good place. Bone density, muscle mass, reversing osteoporosis, helping with movement, balance, cognition, memory. This is what we do. Parkinson's, MS, ALS, whatever. Poor movement, poor balance. You come see us, we will help you. It's what we do. We have the fanciest, coolest assessment tools and the best, most effective training interventions. With that said, I don't know who my guests will be next week exactly, but I have a feeling 1 hour is probably going to be devoted to Eva, who is the co-founder of Play On Relief Pain Spray. I'm just confirming that with her probably tomorrow. Do we have any other announcements?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, you could just come and, set an appointment to come in and see us and just get a free tour. You see what we do, try a few things out. That's cool.
Yeah.
We want you to check it out.
Please try to make an appointment now because we're getting really busy.
Oh, yeah, we are busy. But you want to make an appointment? Yeah. Come on. Come on in. Music's coming on.
Is it?
Here it is.
Already?
I know.
Boy, that went by fast.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for your beautiful words today.
You're welcome.
You make a difference in so many people's lives.
Thank you.
Kyla and Dave, thank you. You make our
thanks.
job easy.
Hey, guys.
Folks, I'm going to close with a little bit of this. Direct from Father Malachi. Try to think more like God and less like a human. Think about how you want to be treated and then treat others that way. Well, if you don't want to be treated well, then don't go out and treat others that way. I'm assuming nobody wants to be treated poorly. Oh my gosh, we got 5 seconds. Thank you, folks. We'll see you next week. News Radio 570 WSYR. Your Health Matters. Have a good week.
The preceding was a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of this show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of the station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information has been for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.